Somit geblaga sasitri mish jantish noba de mazaya yezanerer mir adi gebze yagablanagam shhatcha kurs rash. Welcome everyone. This is John T. Amisha. Today is February 1st, and this is our Circassian for Beginners course, A0 introduction course. We're warming up while people are coming in, so we're just making conversation. We do this every class. So, Albert.
Hey, Janti.
Hey, what dawash tsapash?
Alhamdulillah, so kharzanish.
Alhamdulillah. Wa New Jersey was Hamara, Atlanta was Noba.
Oh, Savannah.
Ah, Savannah?
Savannah.
Ah, Savannah, Savannah.
Savannah, Georgia.
Abu Grihra.
Okay.
Nakhaf Widej to New Jersey, Hamara Savannah.
New Jersey.
New Jersey, Pajui.
Yeah.
So Pajui essentially is a Tuxi Grihakam, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Arsasi Okhia Pitchers. Mr. Blaga worker, we Savannah dish.
No, Blaga see Hajab Sasish.
Ah, Gorogos. Sinochoch. La Lina di Shopch.
Dawshet.
Kharzina what dawshet.
Salis Kharzanish.
Sit Shakhabar we dish.
Sa Yijapam Squankum, Hilsoja, Film Soap, nothing new.
Hilsit Quadami Wajra.
Different books. How do I say that?
Different books. You mean like you're reading different types, physical different books? You could say Tich Gwarkar Soja. I'm reading Tich Gwarkar. It does not mean different kinds. Tich is book. Gwarkar is Gwar is something. So, but when you say Tich Gwarkar Soja, the idea is that there are different physical types of books that you are reading. Soja. Sitkwada bzemcha. What is sibzicha? Yinjilibzicha. Adigabzicha. Yinjilibzicha. Honsta. Faya japam fukoja.
How?
Yajiri remote. So that was a lockdown fi ashara. Honsta. Erdem. Janok. What do you mark of all? Dalfa shitcha? Dao shit. Abkodu jisma. Dao shit arzitzuch. Dao for shitcha. Dao for shitcha. Tzuchich. Dawa washit. Zitzuch. Dawa fa shitcha. Tzuchich. Ya kwitzuch. Dao for shitcha. Janok washa? Sorry, Sakharzinash. What's it Pshanoba? Was hast du heute gemacht?
I was in school.
Say a japum. Say a japum such a ash.
Say a japum.
Ash. Sanoba je japum such ash. Heute ich bin bei Schule gewesen. Dara.
Sit Janti.
What dawshit?
Harzanish, Hopso, Dawshit.
Sarisa Kharzanash. Sit Shakhabar we dish.
Noba Hunush.
Noba Huno. We dish Egypt to Jash, Hamra Macho.
Shasha.
Shasha. Digger Corps we shabarm. We shabarm yitu Digger Corps.
There were corps.
Digger How do you say sun? Sun. Who knows how to
Sun.
say sun?
دغ
Dugha.
دغه
Arashi, oops, the sun is shining. We
Yeah.
shabarim behind you. We shabarim oops.
انت if
Arashi.
you want
Yeah, seraf. Show me. Seraf. Wow. Arab shahashara. Armakos. Yawa. Wait, alhamji ammaku gor sari Madagascar no seques. Ara super halamach. It's a very interesting place. It's a very interesting place. Hiya. Qiblaga.
تحرم غبسو
وبسوج ودنا وشش.
دا سا عمان نمسي بسو
Amana mushopso. Abu grihara.
ست
Do you like it there?
نقوى
نقول خنشتا. What a digabzcha fu wopsasha. Fu wopsasha digabzcha.
وبسو أو سادي رابزة نقوى سبساها
Dana zabgosh digabza.
سبرينت حمزة يجابم سقواش
Prince Hamzan yajapum. Ayajapum we griha.
نتا
Khunshta. Rashi wiyanri adigabza chupsa.
سيادة بجدو غبزة يوبساها أو سيانة أدي رابزة بساخكم
What then? قبر ديبزة مو Prince Hamzan yajapum zabgosh ara.
نتا
قرقوش. قبلاغ دي guapa خواش.
وبسو سري سقواش
ويجفرة.
نتا
Kirill alef bem ويجفرة.
نتا
Khunshta. Waysi guapos. Di guapa خواش. قبلاغ.
تحرم غبسو
دي مازا دي شبخ.
Студенти,
وداوشت.
сихарзинес ви видавшит.
Зарisa خرزنش. وسط شانوبا.
Зири,
Ziri. Zagab سخوا. Did you relax?
на те.
Sa zagab سخواش.
Се зизгап шоха.
Zizgab
Зизгап
سخواش.
зихаш.
Sa zizgab سخواش.
Се зизгап сухаш.
I relaxed today. Khunshta. Satanai.
ست
Daoshit.
تمام الحمد لله ودوشت
Zarisa tamamsh. You know, something interesting, I just realized I have like 3 satanais in my various classes, and all of them have red hair. So interesting. We sabichar daoshitcha.
الحمد لله تمامش
Alhamdulillah tamamsh. Yatsichar sit.
يا خرست
We sabicham yatsichar sit.
ألكسندرا إيفانرا
Alexandra Ivandra salam swekij.
عليكم السلام
Hamza.
تبلاغ
Hey,
ستو
what
خدا.
founder does it lawaqam?
سقواپ خواش
Yeah, Sarisi
Stawas,
guapa
sorry.
khwas. What's it shakhabar with dish?
نوبة أوكم سقواش أوك كود سئاش إتانا ونم سقاك وجاش سقاب سقواش شكنر سشكاش أدي قبزة يجري سيجانوج ويغسو
على حمجي أم. Sit koda shkinim shkanoba.
سيشكنر يجري كيتوس شا Diet.
Sit koda. Ur ochos. Our sit koda kino shkinner shkanoba.
Noba. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what it is. That's funny.
Sit kino scanner.
He's on a keto diet. Ketogenic
Keto.
diet. Yeah.
Keto diet.
I was on keto diet for about 5 years.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh.
about 5 years I did keto. Mhm. So there's probably nothing you've eaten that I don't know.
It was zucchini, so
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure. Is zucchini mesh or
Qabchah.
qabchah?
That's how we call. Qab is pumpkin. Pumpkin and zucchini are both squash, the same family. So we call zucchini qabchah.
qabchah sishkash.
Ah.
Arsish. Af didash.
Mhm.
Siguriha.
You can find zucchini in Saudi Arabia?
No, not naturally produced, but
Fair enough.
yeah.
Fair enough. Nasiba.
Selamun aleyküm.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah di shubh. Wadawa shit noba.
Elhamdülillah sidor. Wadawshit.
Sasa wazinshash Allah hamish kurcha. Allah hamish kurcha. Khabar gwarkhar wi'a.
Seri Sleja.
Sichapa?
Ofum square.
Ah.
Yani
Then وش الأجرة؟
أدقابزجر تشتقد أنجر technical fabric.
Technical fabrica أرى.
أرى.
Fabrica أبقدو جدوء أدقابزجر سجحتشمي. يعطم شغل يتوانر حوا. Peter the Great. По-русски Peter Великание. أبي زمانم شغل. نمتم شش كود راحات مستورسيم ديج. زمانم تكنولوجي كود راحات ورسيم ديج. زمانم أبيش حتى بسالة كود خر دي أش ورسبزتشا نمتبزتشا قيشاوا. أبيش حتى مبسالك زبجانك ومبسالك مشش أديجبزتشك حاش. أبيش حتى زفودري جدوء أديجبزتشا. زفودري جدوء. فابريكا جدوء أديجبزتشا. قب جروب رجستر. In the time of Peter the Great, there were many Germans, mostly Swiss Germans, who were brought into the Russian Empire to bring technology. And as they came, they brought many words with them as well. One word they brought with them is fabrika, which is factory. There's also a word in Russian, another word, zavod. But this word, fabrika, and this word, zavod, these are both Russian words. Well, fabrika is a Latin word that the Germans use, but they're Russian words. But these words have also come into Circassian as well. So the word fabrika, we also use in Circassian. So it's a word that went from the Latins to the Germans, to the Russians, to the Circassians. So you would say, en adigabza, sa fabricam sa sholaja. I work in a factory. And then technology is an international word. So sa fabrica technologum sa khach. I work in technical factory.
Yeah.
So, Honsta, Kirill.
Salam جنتي.
Walaikum salam. What dawshit?
Sekarzinis. What dawshit?
Tamamsh. Sasa wazinshash. What's it shanoba? Sit shanoba.
What's that?
Sit shanoba. What did you do today?
I did some Zoom.
Zoomum sechatash nova.
Zoomum sechatash nova.
Ponsta, Beblara. Yujre our nachlapere. Last but most valuable, or last but not least, like we say in English. Nilgun. What do we have for? What dawshit?
Sifs, wupso, wedawshit.
Sarisa Kharzilish. What duck with a shower for pitch? What was a sha?
Little bit.
What a bit. Hopefully you'll be able to relax a little bit.
I'm sure.
Yana dawashit noba.
Siyaneri sıfs nasıl diyecektim? Not sıfs. For the third singular person, how can I say? She's good, well.
Artamamış.
Artamamış.
Okay.
Arvuzun şağı yaş.
Konuşta. Selam söyleyeceğiz. Selam söyleyeceğiz. Konuşta.
Aleykümselam.
Aça nakoş dodza. Yeah.
Can she say Yana Fus?
Siana Fush. Yeah, she can say that too.
Okay.
She can say that too. Wait a minute. I think some people I didn't talk to some people. Oh, my screen was a little too small. Zarin.
Sırçanti.
Wadawashit.
Harzınış wadawashit.
Sarisa kharzinish. Sarisa kharzinish. وويديش نوبة شقة حمرا خوابة.
شقش. نوبة.
شقة جدا حمرا توك شقة.
توك شقة.
توك شقش. ويانا داوشت نوبة. فس. سلام سويكج. سلام سويكج قاء.
عليكم السلام.
يجري عليا.
سلام جانتي.
وعليكم السلام دي شبخ. وداوشت نوبة.
تمامش وداوشت.
ساريسة تمامش. ونوبي مكسيكان حانت خبصري ويفا.
هوا سفاقم. نوبة جد شخاش.
جد بشكا ست خودة جد.
جد غفا.
جد غفا عرفت.
انت عرف وزنشة.
وزنشش انت وزنشش. يزاقو بشكا همرا يا صلاة يا حنت خبص يا زغورة بقى بداتو بشكا.
I don't know how to say that. Buckwheat.
I think, well, I only know the Arabic word for it, bughul, which I never say it the right way either. So I'm not a big fan of buckwheat anyway, so I don't bother with the word, but.
I am. I would like to know the word. Af-ish.
You know what? Let me see if I can find it for you then.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Buckwheat. Let me see if I have this. Let me see here. Do I have it? Okay, it's not in my English dictionary. How do you say it in Russian?
Гречка.
Гречка. Гречка. All right, 1 second here. Nope, cannot find it. I know we have it. I just don't have it in my dictionary. Another time.
Punch.
Punchta. Gözde. Zihab kara gözde. What's the Okay, she's in an undisclosed location, so we'll talk to her later. All right, so let's begin. You know, before we start, how is everybody feeling about their conversational Circassian? I see a huge difference. I see a huge difference. When we first started this course, some of you could not say a lot. Many of you felt very uncomfortable, but I feel like all of you feel comfortable with this conversational starter. But how are you guys feeling? Do you guys feel, does anybody feel like they're not making progress? Albert. Okay.
You know, I have noticed that with most of the other participants in this class and the North American class, I've noticed a noticeable improvement with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel I am improving as well as they are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Maybe I'm just being too self-critical. I don't know.
I have an opinion on that in just a moment.
Hmm.
Is there anybody else who feels like they're not improving? Anybody feel like does anybody feel like we are going too slowly, or like you are progressing too slowly? People okay
Yeah, I
with
feel like I'm progressing too slowly then. Yeah.
So I think that the challenge with you, Albert, is you're a quasi-native speaker. You know, you grew up with the language. I did not. I mean, my mom and dad spoke it, but I didn't speak it till I was in my 30s. You grew up with the language, so you have so much of it in your head already that we've got to cover, 30, 40, 50 hours just to catch up to where you are.
No, I don't think that's it. I'm still having a problem just putting the words together to form a sentence. I still can't form sentences.
You say lots of things really well, though.
I can say words, but I can't put them together.
Maybe you're overthinking the grammar.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Well, let's just stick with it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So where did we leave off? We got this little guy, right? Do you guys remember? So we've learned all this great stuff. Right? We remember you guys remember all this?
Yes.
We all remember this, right? Okay, so we're going to warm up here a little bit before we move on. Albert, what had a pibzicha wopsatra?
Dat niet, joh.
Dat niet,
Jaren, te jaren, een stesfe, harre. That's it.
Harapibzicha wishapsathacha. Harapibzicha wishapsathacha. Psuncha wopsatra. Hamrahuamu wopsatra.
Dat is letterlijk een pimsentje.
Whoops, letterlijk. Adigebzicha wishapsathacha. Psunchu hamrahuamu wopsatra.
Dakhuamu.
Dakhuamu. Lalina. Wahwe adigebzicha websachano?
Да, са адыгабзача специален схуеш.
Сачача.
I want to talk with family and friends. How do I say that?
Siwanawum. Sorry. Siwanawum adigebzicha sepsachano sukwesh.
Siwanawum adыгабзача специален схуеш.
We will know quadra adigabzicha websatra.
Да.
Quadra hamra zazamiza. Zazamiza. We will now wishapsathacha quadra hamra zazamiza adigabzicha websatra.
Zazamiza adыгабзача websatra.
Wahwe Klingon nibzicha websachano?
How?
Sorry, Sakwekam. Janok. Hat Egypt stop Sahara? Hat Egypt right now. Hat Egypt stop Sahara?
Jonti Egyptu subsat
Mapsatha. Janti Egyptsto.
Mapsasha.
Mapsatha. Ar mapsatha. Wari wapsathra.
Se subsasha.
Wawapsathra. Nto sasop. Nta sasopsatha. Sasopsatha. Wa Egyptsto. Adigabzacha wapsathra. Hamra Deutschebzacha wapsathra.
Se Adigabzaja Wadu subsasha.
Quado wapsathra. Wa adigabzacha washapsathacha. Za. Wa adigabzacha washapsathacha. Psanchu wapsathra. Hamra huamu wapsathra.
Se Adigabzaj Adigabzaja Kwamu subsasha.
Wohwe tamamu wepsathano adigabzacha. Wohwe. Willst du? Wohwe adigabzacha tamamu wepsathano.
Sit.
Willst du richtig auf Circassian sprechen?
Ja. Ja.
Ja. Sechwesh.
Se Adigabzaja Tamamu Suhwish.
Sepsathano sechwesh.
Sepsashano subsesh.
So, Janok, when you're speaking, do you feel nervous or do you feel confused or a little bit of both?
A little bit of both.
Okay. So for anybody who feels nervous, that is the number one enemy of being successful in learning any language. Okay. There's no such thing as mistakes. There's only steps that we take on this journey to learn. And in this class, we do not use the word "I'm sorry" if we say something wrong. So throw away any worries. Akuna matata, right? Throw away any worries. Do not be worried. Relax. I think that you have all of this information in your head and you are worried that it's going to come out the wrong way. And that is making you stop and get more confused. Okay, so number one rule in this class, throw away any worry that you have. That's gonna help you at least 50%. Understood? Okay. Janok. Sit.
Sit.
ويادم يتسر sit.
So, Siada Witza Adams.
ويادم يتسر اردمش. ويتسر sit.
Sasitza Janox.
Janok. Wawa Deutsch. Hamara wawa adiga. wa adiga. Hamara wa Deutsch.
Deutsch.
Was ist Deutsch? Du weißt, was ist Deutsch, ja?
Ja.
Ja. Also, hier ist Deutsch, hier ist was? Adiga. Bist du Deutsch oder bist du Adiga?
A little bit of both.
Okay. Well, let's just say for now, to keep it simple, Sasa Adigas. Okay. Sasa Adigas. Wa Adigabzacha Wupsathra.
Se Wadu Se Adigabzacha Quadu, subsasha.
Wow, فددة بج وأديجابزتشا كودو وبساشا. تمام سرقوشخوا. I'm proud of you. سرقوشخوا. إردم. خت يجيب ستو بساشرة.
جانتين ستساشا.
جانتي ما بساشا. وري وبساشرة.
سري أديجابزتشا سبساشا.
وكودرا أديجابزتشا وبساشرة.
زغمزة أديجابزتشا.
ززمزة وبساشا. أديجابزتشا وشبساشا. بسنشو وبساشرة. حمرا خوامو وبساشرة.
أديجابزتشا سبساشا. هومو سبساشا.
وخوي بسنشو وبساشانو.
أنت أديجابزتشا تمامو سبساشانو سوخيش.
على حمجي أم. دلعة.
ست.
أردم أديجابزتشا بسنشو بساشرة. حمرا خوامو بساشرة.
أردم خمرو مبساشرة.
خوامو مبساشة. بج. خوامو مبساشة. وري أديجابزتشا وشبساشة. خوامو وبساشرة. حمرا بسنشو وبساشرة.
سري خمو مبساشرة.
وخوي مادغاربزتشا ويبساشانو.
حوا.
وخويكم. ست كودا بزمتشا ويبساشانو وخوي. ست كودا بزمتشا. أديجابزتشا. ورسبزتشا. تركبزتشا.
س إنجليبزجة.
ينجلبزتشا ويبساشانو وخوي.
س إنجليبزجة سبساشة.
وبساشا. In what language do you want to speak? Sit koda bzemcha. In what kind of language? Sit koda bzemcha websashanu wohwe.
س فرنش بزجة سبسلانوس خويش.
Adigabzasha?
انت أديجابزجة.
Yeah. Ari sokwesh. Okay, bas gruash. I understood. Thank you. What's up? Satanai.
ست.
Wafran jibzitcha websashafra.
تقو. شبسج سبسخة.
Dal'a fran jibzitcha bsashafra.
تقو. I think.
What? Abiya whoops. Ask him.
طرحة وفرن شبزج وبساخة وبساخة فرا.
وكود فرنش بزجة سبسلافرة.
داك.
سبسلاف كود داك.
Satanai, wokwe franjibzitcha websashano, hamra, wokwe adigabzitcha websashano.
سيخويش بوث سبساخينو.
Uri. How do we say two? Tu. So we say both. Uri. Sakwesh sepsashano.
أوري سخويش.
Nasiba.
ست.
Wa adigabzitcha wishipsatcha. Abazakibzitcha hamra papertayibzitcha wopsatra.
Abzakibzitcha sepsatra.
Abzakibzitcha. What we desha sit the dialect nach dacha. Papertayibzitcha hamra abazakibzitcha.
Tori kodo dacha.
Diplomat. Tamam. Khunsta. Kirill. Khat Egypt stu psatra.
Egypt stu very dezopsach.
What is sari dezopsatra? Pez. Wow. Bravo, Kirill. Remember, class, before this course, Kirill had 0 exposure speaking Circassian. Kirill, wukwe adigebzacha websetheno?
سخويش أدقبزة سبسخن.
Adigebzacha tamamu websathra, hamradok websathra.
أدقبزة تك سبسخن.
Tamamu webdok websathra, however, tamamu websathra, tamamu websathra. What adigebzacha wishipsathra, psinchu websathra, hamrahuamu websathra. Psinchu websathra. Sari psinchu sopsathra. Adigebzacha shipsathra, subpsinchu sopsathra. Zazamiza. Mahmat.
أنت جانتي.
What zazamiza adigebzacha websathra.
س تك أدقابزة صوب ساشة.
What tak websathra. Wuhwe tamamu websathano adigebzacha.
إنشالله س تمامش أدقابزة صوب ساشة.
Sasuhwesh
سيسخوش
adigebzacha
أدقابزة
tamamu
تمامو
sepsathano. Sepsathano.
سيبسخنو.
Yep. Sopsatha. Egyptsto sopsatha. Sepsathanos in the future. Sepsathanos. Sopsatha, sepsathanos. Sopsatha, sepsathash in the past.
Right.
Sepsathash, sopsatha, sepsathanos. Abgrura.
Yeah, I get it.
Consta. Nilgun.
Sit Shanti.
What تركبزتش تماما وبساثرة.
نتا ستركبزتش تمام الصبسالف.
أدي جابزتش أدي جابزتش وبساثرة.
س أدي جابزتش صبسالف.
تماما وبساثرة حمرت أكو.
خمو.
هوا وف ضد وبساثرة أدي جابزتش.
It's very kind of you. Thank you.
Haj. I'm telling you, all of you know more Adigebza than you think you know, especially Janok. I can see it in his face. He understands and he wants to say it, and then he second guesses himself all the time. Confidence. You guys all speak better than you think you speak.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So was Haya. Oh, what that was it? What did he say? Sarisa tamams. What harap bibzatcha wopsafara?
انطاس حرب بزتشا ستجي
ستمديجي
انطا سبساشش
سا حرب بزتشا ستمديجي سبساشا
صح حرب بزتشا ستمديجي سبساشا
ويجري حرب بزتشا ويبسلانو ويجري حرا. Do you like it?
طاق يعني دي بزتشا نحداكس
نحداك واو سصودا ادي جابزتشا وشبساشا تمام وبساشا
حواسا دي بزتشا طلق سبساشش
حواس الصوثاء وقدر وبساشا وفددو وبساشا طق يجري غسان خويش اوستمي وقدر وبساشا ادي جابزتشا حمرا ززمزة ززمزة يا وي وناغم شش يا وي نبزوغم شش يا وي جلم شش Ziguar nibjog wi'a adigabzach away psaltafanur.
Sina khijher subsachich. Miti sin nibjachher subsachich.
We nibjogum shish ziguarcher wi'a away psaltafanur. We nibjogum shish.
Si nasipper adigabzach ayosha. Ar chamguebzach ayopsacha.
Oui. Dokos.
Da.
Shara dawa chim gweja doa kabradayibzacha. Chacha.
I'm sorry, I have difficulty with understanding what you're saying. I know the words that I have in my head and I know how to say them, but when it comes to understanding what the other person is telling me or saying to me, then I blank out. I can't understand what another person is telling me.
Okay, so there's a nervous block in your head.
Exactly.
All Circassians have this. Why? Because this is not correct, but this is unfortunately what our people do. When we make a mistake, people laugh at us, they make fun of us, and that discourages us. Who wants to feel small? No one wants to feel small. So we all have this block. And as a listener, you hear something, then there's something you don't understand and your brain turns off because you're worried that you're going to make a mistake. Okay. So it's hard, but one of the rules we have in this class, there's no laughing and there's no mistakes. No one's allowed to laugh at anyone. You can laugh at me. Sometimes I make jokes and no one laughs. That's even worse. So you can laugh at me and there's no such things as mistakes, just steps that we take to get better and better. Okay. So you speak very well. You just need more practice. You speak very, very well. You're in the same category as Albert, who thinks he doesn't speak well. So
thank you.
What I was saying before is it's interesting. So Haya said that she has friends who speak the Western dialect of Circassian. The Western dialect of Circassian, who here speaks Arabic? We have Hamza, Natai, yes, Satanai. So in Arabic, there's a word called Fusha. Fusha is a literary standard that all Arabic speakers understand. Okay. In Adigabza, we have two Fusha. We have Qabarde and we have Jemqwe. Okay, Jemqwe. Qabarde is a real language. It exists. Jemqwe is what we call a constructed language. It is several dialects, several Western dialects brought together. Okay, it's brought together. I'm not saying it's fake. It's not fake. It's not fake. I want to be very clear about that. But when they sat down to create the language, they took a little piece of Jadokh, they took a little piece of Jemqwe, they took a little piece of Azak, they took a little piece of Shapsokh, and they standardized the language. Okay, so what's interesting is Western people call Eastern Circassians Qabartai. We call ourselves Qabarde. So in Adigea, when they teach Adigabza, when they speak Adigabza, as it's written, they call it Jemqwe, right? But we call it Tsacha. So just like they call us Qabartai, they call their language Jemqwe, and we call it Tsacha. So I just thought you'd find that interesting. Acha, Aliyah.
Да, Джанти.
Сыт бзэмчӏэ сыпсалъэрэ?
Уэщэ?
Yeah.
Уайн
No, иджыпсту.
Иджыпсту адыгэбзэкӏэ уопсалъэ.
Уэри сыт хуэдэ бзэмчӏэ уопсалъэрэ иджыпсту?
Иджыпсту сэри адыгэбзэкӏэ сопсалъэ.
Уэ адыгэбзэкӏэ ущыпсалъэкӏэ, тэмэму уопсалъэрэ, хьэмэрэ тӏэкӏу уопсалъэрэ?
Сэ адыгэбзэкӏэ тӏэкӏу сопсалъэ.
Ухуей тэмэму уепсэлъэну?
НтӀэ, сэ дэгъуэ дыдэу сыпсэлъэну сыхуейщ.
Дэгъуэ дыдэу уепсэлъэну ухуейщ. Сыт щхьэкӀэ?
Сэ сыадыгэщ.
Жэуапыфщ. Excellent answer. Excellent answer. Dimaza.
Sıt.
What do adiga?
Nıte seri adigaş.
Adiga bzıçı web sathra.
Nıte se zezemize homo adigabze sopsaşe.
Wa wukhwe sitim deji adiga bzıçı web sathano?
Nıte se sıtımdeji adigabze sepsaşenu schoiş.
Allah hamji am. Allah hamji am. Hamza.
Sit.
Wa sitim deji wara sibzıçı web sathra.
Hawa.
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 Sitkoda bzam çı web sathra. Yijibstu.
Egyptsu adigabzacha sopsatha.
Wa noba harpibzıçı web satha.
Nta okhum deji repibzaracha sopsathash.
Wa zezemize yinjilibzıçı web sathra.
Nta anjilibzibzacha zezemiza sopsatha.
Sitkoda bzam çı nakhifu web sathafra. Yinjilibzra hamra adiga bzra.
Jiri injilizibzacha nakh psathu. Nakhifu sopsatha. Tawa adigabzacha thamje ama nakhdagu sipsathanu khwish.
Allah hamji am. Allah hamji am. Zarin.
Sit.
What turkibzacha web sathafra?
Sa turkuzipsica sopsarha.
Adigabzacha sit.
Tamamu sopsarha.
Tamamu web satha. Adigabzacha tamamu web sathafra.
Hava tak sopsarha.
Wukhwe tamamu web sathano?
Sa sikhwesh.
Sit wukhwe.
How can I say it?
Tell me in English. Wa sepsathano sukhwesh. Yeah, wukhwema tamamu sepsathano sukhwesh.
Adigabzacha sepsakhano tamamu sikhwesh.
Fadida tamamu japash. Khat yijiri mapsatha. Natai web satha. Mabashush web satha. Okay, so that's the review. All right. Now we're going to give just a little sneak preview. So how do I say, talk to me? Who knows? Besides Albert, because Albert's in both classes.
Pardon.
So if I'm going to say, who is speaking to me? So this is still, right? We're still using this form, but we are inserting this prefix, okay? Anytime we put qiz in front of a verb, it means you're doing it to me. You're doing it to me. So how do I say give me? Everybody open, everyone open your mics. Everyone turn on your microphones, okay? So again, not Nilgun, because I know she knows. How do I say give me? Qazat. How do I say tell me? How do I say speak to me? Okay, so speak to me. Tell me. Okay, so does people feel comfortable with the difference between and qaja'a? Yeah, we'll cover more of that. Okay. Qazat, qazabsatha, qazja'a. Okay, sit nawash qazat.
Qadawat.
Qazadawat. Listen to me. Qazadat. Who said that one? Ah, qazadat. I'm sure you heard that many, many times, huh? Qazadawat.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So then this is to do something to me, right? Qazadawat. Actually, qazadawat, listen to me. Qazadawat. Listen to me. It's like you're telling it even stronger. And then if I'm doing something in your direction, sinopsatha, I'm speaking to you. Sinodawwa, I'm listening to you. Okay. My daughter, she's 4 years old, all the time. Baba, 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 baba. Sit sipsa. What, my soul? I call her sipsa. Sit sipsa, sinodawwa, sinodawwa. I'm listening to you. Baba yep, baba yep, baba yep. Sinop. I'm looking at you. I'm watching you. Okay. Sinopsasha. I'm speaking to you. How do we say I'm going? How do we say I'm going?
Sequanush.
Sokwa. Sokwa. Sequanush in the future. Sokwa. So how would we say I'm going to you?
Sonokwa.
Sonokwa. Sonokwa. So you can see how these prefixes are used in many, many, many verbs. Yes? Yes? Okay. So, Albert.
Janti.
Qazabsatha. Qazabsatha. Adigabzacha qazabsatha. Zagwarqa. Zagwarqa. We khabarer qja'a.
No, but khabasasi. So, kofa se sofa. Rash.
Rash we khabarer. Khunsta. Lalina. What is sibzacha qazabsatha?
How yeah, wait, I didn't understand.
What is sibzacha qazabsatha? What am I saying to you? Did you freeze?
If you're asking me if I, yeah.
No, so what is sibzacha in Russian? Qazabsatha. Speak to me in Russian.
Здравствуйте.
Сухуекам qazabsatha no adi what is sibzacha. Adi gabzacha qazabsatha. Once. Khat yijibstu qazabsathara. Hej, warash. Sayijibstu sinopsatha. Khat qazabsathara. Sayijibstu sinopsatha. Abgru'ra. Abgru'ra. Erdem.
Who speaks to me?
Qazabsatha adi gabzacha. Khunch. Khat qazabsathara yijibstu. Sasinopsatha. Heshqa? Wawupsathara. Dizapsathara. That is opsatha. Janok. Khat qazabsathara. Sasinopsatha. Pej. 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 Satanai.
Set.
Khat yijibstu psathara.
What Egyptstu psathara?
Say yijibstu sopsatha. Khat yijibstu qazabsathara.
Si Egyptstu sino psathara.
Wa yijibstu qazobsatha. Qazobsatha. Okay. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. I just want to get this concept into your minds. Okay. Qazabsatha. Qazat. Right? synopsakha, synodalwa, synokwa. We're going to come back to these prefixes more in the future. Okay. We're going to go into the breakout rooms now. So let me stop the share. I'm going to drop this into the chat. Let me pause the recording.
So,
who had the technical difficulty? I'm trying to, I think he canceled. Mehmet, it was you, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened with Skype, with Zoom. I do apologize.
No, you are welcome. Thank you.
Okay. How did everybody think of the breakout rooms? Good practice?
Yes, sure.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How much of you speak? What percentage was Adigabza and what percentage was Turkish or English or Russian or something else? Honestly.
Little bit Turkish too.
Yeah.
90%.
90% Turkish?
No, no.
Okay, good. Okay. So we'll come back to this concept. But now we're going to start a new verb. So give me a second. I want to change this. You're going to see me make a lesson real quick. Give me a second here.
Recording in progress.
Sorry.
Echo. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, one more thing. Break this down. Whoops. In the US, we say, you're seeing how the hot dog gets made. All right.
never heard that.
You never heard that?
No.
You're seeing how the sausage gets made, how the hot dog gets made? Okay. So everyone turn on your microphone.
Ma'arisa.
We'll come to that. So class.
Sit.
Sit. Doge. We're sleeping. Class.
Sit.
Alam Zagorjea. Alam Zagorjea. The boy is saying something. Such alam ji'ara. Such alam ji'ara. Sitanai. So do I need to put both? Hang on. I want to put both of these on the same screen at the same time. Let me think. I want to give you guys the chance to see everything at the same time to make it easier. This. Bring this here. Not enough room on the page. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. You know, if this was a real classroom, I would just write on the whiteboard and it would be faster, right?
Problem with sketches and design. It's easier to do it on paper than.
Yep. Yep, it's true. Okay. All right. Whoops. Put this here. Put this here. Put this here. That's good enough for now. Okay. You guys can see everything on the screen?
Yes.
Little crowded. Okay. So Alam Zagorjea. Alam Zagorjea. Satanay. Such Alam Jera.
Alam Zagorjea.
Zagorjea. Yitzar Jera.
Maybe.
Yitzar Jera. Hamra Zagorjea.
No, Zagorjea.
Zagorjea. Khad Zagorjea. Khad Zagorjea.
Alam Zagorjea.
Alam Zagorjea. Sit Alam Jera.
Alam Zagorjea.
Zagorjea. Zagorjea. Erdem. Egyptsto. Alam Yitzar Jea. Egyptsto Alam Yitzar Jea. Arash Jera. Arash Jera. Arash Jera. Alam Egyptsto Sit Jera.
Egyptsto Alam Yitzar Jea.
Yitzar Jea. Zagorjea. Sitra Jera. Yitzarash Jea. Abgru ora. Natai. Egyptsto Khad Zagorm Jea.
Alam Zagor.
Alam. Alam Zagorjea. Sit Alam Jea. Jera.
Alam Zagorjea.
Zagor. Yitzar Jera.
Hawa. Zagor.
Zagor. Okay. Zazamiza Zagor. Zazamiza Yitzar. Nilgun.
Sit Shanti.
Alam Egyptsto Zagor Jea. Alam Yitzar Jea. Alam Yitzar Sit.
Alam Yitzar Osman.
Osman. Sit Osman Yisr.
Osman Zagorjea.
Zagorjea. Khad Zagorjea.
Osman Zagorjea.
Sit Jera. Zagor. Awa Sit Zagor. Yitzar.
Sorry. Alam Yitzar Jea.
Alam Yitzar Jea. Alam Yitzar Jea. Mahmoud, you have a question.
Jati, what's the difference between Ja'a and Qa'a?
Qa'a means please. Qa'a means please.
How Kiana speaks Shapsu, so she say Qa'o. How this kabardibse right to say.
When your mother, what does she say again?
Qa'o. Tell me.
Tell me. Qja'a.
What's the difference between q and j in here?
Ja'a means is saying. Qja'a means tell me. Say it to me. So Alam Zagor Je'a, the boy is saying something. Wa Zagor Jbo'a, you are saying something. Okay, so look here. Wa Zagor Jbo'a. Wa Zagor Jbo'a. You are saying something, right? But if I say, tell me, وقجأ وويتسر قجأ. Tell me your name. زمان القجأ. Tell me the time. Right?
Can we say just Jalem Zigor A? Is it true or what's the difference?
Say again.
Jalem Zigor A.
Cannot say that. You cannot say that. Shalem Zagor Jea. Jea. Shalem Zagor Jea. The boy is saying something. Shalem Zagor Jea. Sa Zagor Zoa. I am saying something. Was Zagor Joboa. You are saying something. Abjea. He, she, or it is saying something.
Is this prefix doesn't mean any direction, right?
No, there's no prefix here. There's no, it's part of the verb. It's nothing like the other things. This prefix is specific only to this verb.
Pardon.
Okay, so if now, did I put it here? I don't have it here. Remember here, the verb is psathan.
Right.
Right? So I can say, Zapsatha, speak to me. Speak to me. I can also say, Qja'a, tell me. Qja'a. So my little children in the house, let's say they're being bzaja. They do something, they break something. Sidqa khwa, what happened? Sidqa khwa, Qja'a. Qja'a sidqa khwa. Tell me what happened.
Okay. Then Ja'an is the root. All of
Ja'an
them.
is the infinitive. Yes, Ja'an.
Okay, I get. I guess the root is only a, and then I confused.
Correct. Yes. So the verb, I said a few times. Oh, you know what? This should be read. I said a few times in the class that the verb root is never going to change, but sometimes it will get very small. It will get very small. And that's what's happening here. So you can see, Jzo'a, Jbo'a, Je'a, right? These are very different, but the verb root is Sajjara, Wajpara, Abiji'ara, Sajjisarkum. Wa jiprkum. This is spelling mistake. Give me a second. Wa jiprkum. Har ji'rakum. Let me fix this spelling mistake too.
So what is je? Je, is it prefix or?
It's not a prefix, it's just part of the verb. It's just part of the verb. Now, I have a theory, but this is a loose theory. My theory is that, so a lot of the time I give you guys etymology, which is the structure of words. And the reason I give you the etymology is so you guys can understand the language more easily. Okay. Like, for example, many classes ago, I said the word for train is mafug. Mafug. Does anybody remember the two pieces that make mafug, train?
Fire and cart.
Fire and cart.
Cart, yes.
Mafa, gu, mafug. Right? Bzaug, bzaug, tongue, bzaug. What's the word for language?
Bza.
Bza. What's the word for heart?
Gua.
Right. Gua has two meanings. It means heart and it means wagon or cart as well. Okay. So bzaug is the heart of a language. Right. So I try to teach you these things to make it easier to understand the vocabulary. Okay. Now, there's a book I have. It's a very interesting book that talks about how Circassian was standardized, how Kabardian was standardized. It's written in Kabardian. And we see in the diaspora, some people say Sasa adigas. Some people say sasa adigas. Some people say qazgru'aqam. Some people say qazgru'a'am. Right? Some people say sarqam. Some people say sha'am. Right? We see all of these things. It has to do with how and where the language was standardized. Okay. We also see that as we go further west with dialects, okay, for example, s'ala, boy, s'ala, right? Nasiba would say s'ale, s'ale, right? So what happens is as you go further west, those softer sounds become a little bit harder. Okay, so in Kabardian, we say dana, where, dana. If you go even to Beslené dialect of Kabardian, it's a little bit further west. You go to Abazakh, you go to Western, you go to Taha dialect, they say tena, tena. We say adda, they say ata, right? So it becomes a little bit harder. So we see that. The word for mouth is z, z. It's not this letter. It's not this letter. Okay, it's actually this letter. Okay, so it's z, not j. Z, not j. Okay. I think that this prefix originally was z, not j. And so what we're saying here is that it has to do with the mouth. Now the word for mouth is j, j, with this softener, not j, j. But that's my theory on this. That's my theory on this.
And Jonty, I think the language is changing in the countries like Turkey or someone else. I think most of the people change the Kabardine language in his country. Where are they are living?
Yeah, language is like water. It flows easily, it flows freely. In the natural state, language flows, right? Language gets standardized when it gets written down. So the only place where the language has been standardized is in the homeland. It doesn't mean that something's wrong. It doesn't mean that something's wrong. It just means it's something different. So we've all heard, like, for example, the word chasa, right? Chasa, adiga chasa. There are many Kabardian speakers who say chasa. It's just a different pronunciation. Okay. So we only have 3 minutes left. So before we wrap up, we started this verb. We'll continue with this verb in the next class. This came up in the other class and they liked the explanation. So I'm going to give you guys, why is the word ma'arasa here? So in the other class, I asked, it's actually the other Satanai, the other redheaded Satanai. I said, and the other Satanai said, she knew the word for ma'arasa. So the word for apple is ma'arasa. And I'll make this shorter for this class because I have 2 minutes left, then I have to run. So no question and answer today. So in Adigabza, we have a little small apple, only this big. It's very sour. We do not like to eat this apple. We have this apple all over the world. It exists in Turkey. It exists in Caucasus. It exists in Europe, in the United States. And in Adigabza, we call this fruit m. Now, m has two meanings, just like gu has two meanings. M means here or this, but m also means this little apple that's very sour that we do not like to eat. Okay. A means hand. It means hand. This is a verb root that comes from the verb yasen, or I'm sorry, ghasan, not yasen. Ghasan means to cultivate. So there's a word in English. This is the best, it's a perfect translation. Ghasan. You can cultivate fruits. You can cultivate people. You can cultivate animals. It means that a human being changes the evolution of that thing to make it better. Okay? So I say to my son all the time, you need to be a cultivated person, someone with etiquette, okay? This is a verbal affix that means how it's done. How it's done. So, to say. If I ask somebody, how do I pronounce that? There's no word for pronounce in Circassian. What we would say is, ardawa zarjsanur. How do I say that? How do I pronounce? So when I say dawa ar zarjsanur, that r means how it's done. So when you put this all together, this little crab apple, we call it in English a crab apple, this little crab apple cultivated by hand.
Wow.
Little crab apple cultivated by hand is an apple. Is the apple, so this little apple that nobody wants to eat is m. This apple cultivated by hand, ma'arasa.
Perfect.
We also have the word maraqua. Maraqua is berry. Okay. Some people call strawberry maraqua arsa because a wild strawberry is this big. It's tiny. It's 1 centimeter, 1.5 centimeters. But maraqua arsa, strawberry, nice big red strawberry, very tasty. Okay. So Haya, in all the classes, I always try to give something about word. I try to find something interesting and go deep into it because I think people like, I love it. I think people like it too. They find
I love etymology. What? Etymology too. I love etymology too.
Cool. All right, everyone, let's leave it there. I'll see you in 2 days. Alhamdulillah. Makhwaf qabit.
Güzel